Today we are doing a Tuesday Interviews Day with the one and only Vicious. You might know him as Scotty-D. He is in the middle of a transformation, and we snatched him up from his studio in Los Angeles and got a little conversation with him. So we're going to jump into that right now. Everybody get your pipes packed and your nails lit, and let's jump into it.
The Natural Habitat Podcast. The Natural Habitat Podcast. The Natural Habitat Podcast.
We're living in the moment, and that is the present. So it's a gift. The gift of now.
Moment of now.
I need to breathe.
Breath of the moment.
I'm not ready. Whew.
In the world.
It's Are you doing a movie voiceover right now?
It's Jeremy Clarkson.
You're doing your other job?
We could do a whole episode about him. He's fucking awesome.
The movie voiceover guy?
No, he's a host from Top Gear.
Oh, I see.
He's funny motherfucker.
We should try to get him on.
Yeah, right. He's only the host of the most popular show in the entire world.
Well, we're only the host of the most popular podcast on the internet. So why does it not? It sounds like a great match to me.
Yeah.
Speaking of the most
Match made in
popular,
fucking uneven heaven.
speaking of the most popular podcast on the internet, you
Who's
are
that?
now tuned into the Natural Habitat Podcast.
Oh.
My name is Mikey Booyah.
What? My name is Mr. McGillicuddy.
So, for people that don't know about myself and Mr. McGillicuddy's, Ryan McGillicuddy, you could say your full name. I said mine. So,
Right.
Ryan McGillicuddy. Let's go back for tell people, new listeners. You want to go all the way back? Conception. We both agree that life starts at conception. So, conception is when it all started. 9 months later, I was squozed out of my mother, and it was a pretty relaxing life as a child, a baby. You know, I got fed, I got changed, all that stuff. I grew up all the way, flash forward, flash cut to now, today. It's Tuesday, right?
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah. It will be.
What do you mean it will be? We're not recording it on Tuesday, is what you're saying. But today, according to my voice coming out on the internet, is Tuesday.
Yeah.
So we're making pretend that it's Tuesday.
Oh.
It's all right. I'm going to edit that all out. Don't worry. We're going to go back.
Yeah, don't worry.
All right. Conception. I was a baby. Everything was fine. Grew up. Now, here we go. What's your story?
It's very secretive.
Yeah, I think we all know that, but you could give us a little something.
Well, I'm a plant.
A plant? Like you grow out of the ground.
Kind of like that.
Or like you were planted.
Yeah, exactly.
Like a plant, or planted like an agent, like a government agent. They planted you somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, it's like one of those. It's one of those secret things. You know, I can't really divulge too much into this, but it's like, you know, it's highly technical, highly scientific. I'm not sure most of the listeners will understand.
So what it is that you could tell us, but we just probably wouldn't understand you. So you're not going to get into it.
Yeah, it speaks at like its own frequency. You know, only dogs' ears can pick it up. I mean, like it's one of those things.
Well, I can't believe that you think that lowly of our listeners, that our listeners are some sort of dumb humans. All of our listeners are dogs, and you know this. That people put on the podcast and they go, "What is this?" and they immediately leave. And they leave it on for their dogs to listen to. And that's our prime demographic.
Those dog treat cameras. Have you seen those? It's like a camera, and it sits like dog eye level in your house. And like you can call it from your phone and shit, and like talk to your dog, and then you can press a button and it'll drop a treat out for your dog or whatever. And yeah.
For people to visit their dogs while they're not home?
Yeah, it's to make rich people feel good about like thinking they can give their dog a treat while they're not home and shit. But in reality, dogs can't even see the screen.
Yeah. Right? So the screen is pointless.
They hear things.
Yeah, if anything, they'll just have a speaker on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a really good point, and I didn't even think of that.
Conception. It's a crazy thing.
Yep, that's where it all started.
Yeah.
And, I think we both agree. We're both on that line. People email us all the time, and they're like, how do you feel about pro-life, pro-choice? When does life start? Does life start at birth? Does life start at conception? And we answered that question for you now. Life starts a month before your parents fuck. And that's just, it's a stewing. What it's
a brainwave, they like interact with each other, and then they start vibrating together. And then once the vibe hits total vibration and a certain frequency, then it resonates into your sperm or eggs, whichever set you have. And then they intermingle and coexist for a minute.
There also is some sort of,
and shit.
There's an election process, and because there's a lot of sperm, and people think that the sperm just fight whoever gets to the egg first. That's not what happens. There's a whole election process that happens when you kiss a girl. Part of her spit comes into your mouth, and it holds the election with your sperm. All right, so a lot of people don't know this. A surprising amount of people don't know this. So
really
I really hate to get technical on you
conception.
guys.
It's a
but
thing.
That's when it starts. A month before conception is when the election happens. The election of conception, and that's just something I wanted to get out.
Science.
Yeah, I just wanted to get out the science. So we have a special guest with us here today. His name is Vicious. He is a rapper / producer / engineer / one-man band, do-it-all style artist from Los Angeles, California. And he's actually from Central California, has recently relocated to Los Angeles to do what people do when they go to Los Angeles, chase their dreams, try to make a name for themselves, and try to establish some sort of foothold in the industry. So we have him on hold, and we're going to talk to him in just a minute. But before we do that, what do you say that you and me get into a little smoke sesh?
Yeah, because we're high as fuck already.
I'm fucking way high already. But I feel like we
just
can
totally had the most elaborate conception story ever made.
Did you say turtley?
Turtle, yeah. I dare you to turtle that, motherfucker.
Fucking turtle power.
Right,
that's all we have around here. It's turtle power and marijuana. So we're gonna use both of those right now in an
Green
NHP
team.
smoke sesh. Do you have something set up?
Nope.
All right. Well, I'm gonna pull something up real quick.
Wait. What you got?
I have just a beat that was produced by. Oh wait, no. I got something. This is something pretty trippy. This is, I don't know if you've ever heard of this guy. His name is Bartholomew Traubeck. And what he does is he took trees, right? He took all these different types of trees and cut off a section of their trunk. So like one thin slice of their trunk, and created essentially a vinyl record made out of wood. And he created like a special, it reads it with light instead of a needle, and reads the rings of the tree. And depending on, the width of the rings, it makes different noises. And he created a symphony. It's like, he plays these trees on a record player, and it creates these sounds, and every tree is different, which is dope. So I'm going to play an ash tree right now.
It's a frequency.
Yep, it's a frequency. So it as you get farther and farther into the center of the tree, the rings get tighter and things get more crazy. So I'm gonna start it halfway in.
Well, I'm about to get in the middle of this tree right now.
Yeah, so let's just all get in the middle of this tree. And if anybody out there would like to send us pics or videos of you smoking, hashtag them NHP Smoke Sesh. We'll put them on our website, naturalhabitatpodcast.com. All right, so here it is, an ash tree on a record player. This is for real. You can find it on YouTube. It's a trip.
Yeah, man.
That's some fucking crazy shit.
I didn't know trees had little ivory keys inside.
Yep, they got them. Well, what it does is
it's a tree, I know.
Yeah, he made it of course it takes these bands and turns them into instruments. It doesn't just come out that way. But he created some sort of player, and it's super dope. Go check it out on YouTube.
Huh.
So speaking of YouTube, I get lost in these YouTube. We're gonna get to Vicious in a second. We got him on the line. He can hear us, but we can't hear him. So we'll get to you in just a second, buddy.
we're just smiling and waving.
Yeah. Hey. So I get sent down these YouTube tunnels every once in a while. I'll be watching YouTube and I'll go to this video and go to that video, and then all of a sudden I'm watching something that is not related to what I was looking for at all, and I'm getting very entertained in the meantime. So I got stuck on these deep web videos, like watching videos and stories about the deep web and like crazy shit that's happened there and all this. And one that stood out to me was something called the Soup Man video.
Soup Man.
Yeah, have you heard anything of this? It's called Blank Soup Room was the name of the video. blanksouproom.avi. And
on YouTube, huh?
Yeah, this is actually a surface web video. It's not a dark web video, and it was on YouTube for like 11 years or something before.
Blank what?
Blank
Room Soup?
Blank Room Soup, yeah. And what the video consists of is an Asian gentleman sitting at a table with very little clothes on, eating a bowl of soup with a giant wooden spoon, and this creepy kind of figure. It's like a man in a suit with these big gloves and a big giant almost like a mascot head, like a big giant fucking poofy head, and it just has beady eyes and black hair, and he walks up behind him and starts like comforting him, rubbing his back as the guy eats this soup. And there's a black bar in front of the guy's eyes, so you can't see him. You don't know who he is, the soup consumer. And the guy starts crying as he's eating this soup, just bawling uncontrollably. And another guy in an outfit comes out from the other side of the frame and starts comforting him as well and rubbing his back. The guy's crying. Whoa. And then there's all these stories about it, like, maybe they were making him eat human remains, or maybe he was like a torture victim and they were feeding him and they recorded it for some reason. So this person kind of looked into this video and found out that these characters, the guys in the masks, are characters named Ray Ray that are from like a variety show that travels around Los Angeles. And the creator worked for Walt Disney, and he also worked as an animator for The Simpsons. And he had created these two characters, and they would do like comedy shows and shit, like a little routine, and they were like some little weirdos. Well, one day the costumes got stolen from a show that they were doing in LA. They had everything in the back alley and they were unloading all their shit. Somebody stole the two costumes, and then like a year later they emailed him that video, the Blank Soup Room, and he didn't really like think anything of it, you know what I mean? But he said that the movements of the guys, they like moved all weird, that's how they move on stage. And he was like, we like train actors for a week how to move right. So these guys have either been watching us or they used to work for us or something. And nobody knows what the video is about. And that's just one of the weird things.
It looks like it's about like alien abduction to me.
Yeah, that's some trippy ass shit, man. They just got him in a
think
room.
About it. It's like repressed memories trying to come out from seeing a small short video like this. This is like a trigger video, and it like unleashes all the stuff in your memory after you've been abducted. And it's like you see this strange thing coming out, but it looks like a giant baby, like a giant Teletubby baby. So it's like not threatening.
Yeah, exactly.
But you're still scared as fuck, and you're just eating the soup. You know what I mean?
It's scary, but it's not threatening. It's expressionless, and it doesn't have any weapons. And like its hands doesn't even look like they could hurt you.
So it's like your mind blurs out the alien's face or whatever it actually looks like, and replaces it with this giant baby face, mascot looking character, and then another one comes up from the side, and they're just trying to make you do shit that you don't want to do. The soup is like a metaphor for getting probed in the butt or whatever. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, this is definitely a fucking this 100% for sure is an abduction trigger video.
Yeah. You know what? I can see that. I can totally see that happening. It's weird, man, and that's just one of the weird things that are on the dark web. I do not. What's the word I'm looking for? I do not suggest that anybody goes and visits the deep web at all. It's a strange place and filled with all kinds of illegal activity that you don't want to be a part of, but a lot that you also do want to be a part of. So it's up to you.
Yeah.
Before we get into this interview with Vicious, I have an unrelated discussion that I would like to have with you about Star Wars.
Ooh.
Ooh. So the movie's been out for a while now. It's been over a month. So I'm going to say if you haven't seen Star Wars, it's your own damn fault.
You're one of the fucking 2 people that hasn't.
Yeah, you're one of the. If you're fucking listening, if you're listening to our show but you're not watching Star Wars, you need to get your priorities in line, all right? Because our show's good, but it's not that good. It's not better than Star Wars: The Force Awakens. It's like right up there, like neck to neck. So, there's a lot of talk going around about Rey and her connection to the Skywalker clan. All right. Now, a lot of people are saying that Luke is her father. That's why she has the connection to the lightsaber and, you know, the unexplainable, you know, connection with the Force and shit that she has with no training. And there's people that are saying that, you know, Luke wouldn't leave her like on some deserted planet in the middle of nowhere, just like how he was left and how his father was left. You know what I mean? So he wouldn't do that to her. He would leave her with Leia or something. You know what I mean? But in her Force vision that she has, there's like, she sees all these dudes in the black mass. All right. And Kylo Ren is there and this dude's about to kill her. Kylo Ren kills the dude. And then it like flashes to fucking something else. And then it flashes to her being left on the planet like young. So there's this theory that I was reading about that says that she is Luke's daughter, that Kylo came in, killed all of Luke's kids. You know how he killed all of his all the kids that he was training and shit. And that's what caused Luke to bail into hiding or whatever. Well, he may have saved her and not killed her, like out of compassion, because he knew her and shit. And she was really young when she got dropped off on the planet. She looked like she was like 6. And he was the one that sent her onto Jakku to go and fucking, you know, live there and just whatever. And then when he found out that BB-8 had escaped with a girl, he got pissed and fucking, remember how he like destroyed that whole console with his lightsaber and just fucked shit up? Because he knew that it was her and that she was like leaving the planet and was being connected to this whole thing. And then when he saw her, that's when he took his mask off and they had like this whole connection.
Well, I think that could be a scenario, but also you gotta remember, everybody in the Force can feel the Force, whether it's on the good side or the bad side. And when Kylo has people he answers to, and I guarantee that they can feel a disturbance in the Force. That's always been part of it. You know what I mean? So if Rey's out there somewhere, they know she's out there. They know she exists. They can feel it no matter what. You know, Kylo might not have been able to, but he had to have known somehow through some way like that. You know, I'm thinking, you know, that's got to be part of it. It can't, like, I don't know. Yeah. I definitely think that she's Luke's kid.
Yeah, and let's talk about, I don't know if we've talked about this before, but let's talk about how dope Mark Hamill is. I think we did. We just recently talked about that last scene.
Yeah.
And just how amazing it was.
Yeah, it's so funny.
God, it's gonna be. He's so
only
fresh.
only one scenario ever could make that a viable ending for a movie. You know what I mean? It's like you can't just leave it like all hanging like that. You know what I mean? But
yeah, how many more days until the next Star Wars movie?
a couple hundred.
I don't know. Yeah, it's gonna because it wasn't like 526.
Yeah.
When it came out.
Yep.
So I say we're probably looking at a
500?
lot still. Yeah. God damn.
Yeah, I don't know. And I'm kind of bit like upset and like butthurt about the fucking changing of the date. I don't think they should all be in December now. I don't know why they're trying to do that. I think they're just doing it out of spite.
I know.
May the 4th has always been a thing. May the 4th is a Star Wars holiday. You can't just like adopt a new month and try to make a new thing. You know what I mean? Like I think like that's kind of ridiculous, and I think it's a shot at George Lucas. You know what I mean? It's like, well, we're not going to celebrate our brand on your birthday anymore, is what they're saying. You know what I mean?
And
it's like, we own it now.
Yep, they're all coming out in December. It says, and then
Yeah, it's bullshit.
And then in 2018, in 2018 is the young Han Solo movie.
That's crazy. So
that's
in 2 years.
Yeah, so that's the plan after. Yeah, it's gonna be this year. 2016 is gonna be, what is it, like a Rogue One or something like that?
It says 2017.
2017.
Yeah, I thought.
No, I'm pretty sure. Here, let's look it up. New Star. Blah blah blah. This is great radio. You're supposed to be talking and filling up this hole.
Sorry, bro.
So look, it says that the next one, which is entitled Rogue One, A Star Wars Story, comes out December 16th, 2016.
Nice.
And then Star Wars Episode 8. So Rogue One, A Star Wars Story, and then Star Wars Episode 8 comes out December 15, 2017. Okay, so this is like a movie that's coming out in between the official Star Wars story, if that makes sense. Because Episode 7 just happened, and now we're gonna get Rogue One, A Star Wars Story, from J.J. Abrams, and it has everybody, like it has Kylo in it and all this shit. It's a Star Wars spin-off story. And then 2017, we get the next one. And then 2018 is the young Han Solo movie. So who the fuck knows? It looks like they're just throwing out all kinds of shit, all kinds of clickbait for everyone to get all excited about.
Well, I'm excited. It worked.
I know, so am I.
I'm most excited for the return of Darth Vader.
Yeah.
He's coming in the Rogue One. And, you know, it's like, I've been tripping out lately, too. Like, I just watched The Indian in the Cupboard with my girlfriend's little brother and sister while they were visiting.
Yeah, who was the kid in that movie?
What?
Who was the kid in that movie?
I don't know. Look him up. I don't remember his name. But anyways, there was a fucking... He brought a Darth Vader character to life in the cupboard. And he was like fucking having a battle with a T-Rex or some shit. And it was fucking dope.
That's so dope. I remember that.
Yeah. So like one of the first things he did with the cupboard was bring a fucking Darth Vader to life. I thought that was awesome.
That's fresh.
Yeah, so it's cool to see like cameos that you didn't realize. You know what I mean? Like you don't like. I mean, like we noticed it, but now that all this Star Wars stuff has happened, and you know what I mean. Now looking back, it's like crazy to see. We've been programmed this whole time. You know, that was in what, 95? Something like that when that movie came out. So
yep, 95.
That was cool.
Yeah, I found out that this kid, his name is Hal Scardino, and he was in Searching for Bobby Fischer, The Indian in the Cupboard, Marvin's Room with
who was Patrick?
With Leonardo DiCaprio, and then that was it. That kid didn't get any work after that.
See if they have Patrick's name, the character Patrick.
Patrick was Rishi Bhatt.
Oh.
And they'd have fucking absolutely no
He wasn't in anything else either because he looks familiar.
Yeah, who's Patrick, the Indian?
Yep.
Yeah, he doesn't have any other credits at all. That was the only movie he was in. And he did a good job. What happened?
I don't know.
Maybe he got typecast and they were like, look, when we're looking for a little tiny Indian in a cupboard, we'll call you. And he was just like, I could do other things, man.
Yeah. All right.
All right. Well, you want to get into this interview?
Yeah, we should probably do that. Sorry.
We're so unprofessional. We just make people wait for like a half hour while we talk about movies that we're not even going to update. Saturday matinee on.
I'm going to pack a ball while we get into this. We had one smoke session. We'll see if Mr. Vicious wants to do one too.
All right, cool. Let's do it. Sound speed rolling. Action. Action 1. Joey on set. Stand by.
Word.
We don't ever do this.
We don't ever do this.
This isn't a thing that we do.
I feel like I'm in Wayne's World right now.
We have on the line right now Vicious in Hollywood, California. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
What's up, brother? How are you?
Pretty good. How are you, man?
Good. We just lost video feed on Joey. Joey turned off his camera.
Hell yeah, he did. He's picking his nose.
He does it every time. All right. All of our cameras are off now.
Hell yeah. It makes me feel a lot better.
Difficulties.
It makes me feel like I'm a part of the crew.
All right, cool. We were having some technical difficulties when we first logged on, and now we got it all fixed. We just turned our cameras off. No big deal. Vicious is a hip hop artist and producer from San Luis Obispo County, California, that has recently relocated to Los Angeles. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your start in music for people that might not be familiar with you?
Well, hold on a second. Yo.
What are you doing? What are you eating? Were you pulling a kung fu vampire?
Yeah. So I've been addicted to music since I was a little kid. Didn't start writing until I was like about like 19, almost 20. Met this kid, Chris Raber, fucking pull up on Templeton Park, man, in my fucking Ranger 812 just slapping. This fool walks up, he's like, hey. I'm like, yeah. He's like, you got a pipe? I'm like, hell yeah. He says, you got trees? He's like, hell yeah. So
Classic.
we went burn a fucking bowl, and this fool says he raps and all this shit, and I was like, all right, where do you record at? He doesn't fucking record. I'm like, all right, well, my dad's a fucking DJ, man. I bet I could throw some random ass shit together and fucking record you. And I took this little fucking MP3 player thing that my dad had that like recorded and shit. I don't know what the fuck it was, but like I plugged the beat into it, and then you can hear vocals through it, and we recorded some random ass shit over some like played out ass beat over like, what was that shit you used to download stuff off of? LimeWire?
Yeah,
like
LimeWire.
Yeah, LimeWire. And sounded shitty as fuck, but after that I wrote my first rap and like recorded my first shit, and I was addicted, man. And after that, played my first show like 3 months in at Hoover's with you guys, with Crazy K, aka Mikey Booyah.
That was a long time ago.
And fucking Unknown and his fucking crew, and then a bunch of other motherfuckers. And I realized I sucked. And I was like, damn, I'm addicted though, so I got to get better.
Yeah, and that's really, I think, the most important thing is that you stick at it, because everybody sucks in the beginning, no matter what you're doing. If you're making music or if you're doing comedy or if you're painting, you're not going to be that great when you start. And after years of persistence is when you get that diamond in the rough kind of thing. So
I just feel like, you got to start somewhere with anything, man. And I was starting writing paragraphs and like random stuff to random beats. And then somewhere along the lines, I was like, damn, this is fun. And then I wanted to get better at it. And I did. And I grew like into my own and into who I am. And it's been like 6 years making this shit. I'm proud to be like out where I'm at right now too, because there's so many different people out here with different influences and different things and different styles and all this, man. It's good to be out here. It's really inspirational to be out here.
So where did you move to? And
I started out in Sherman Oaks, man, and now I'm in Van Nuys.
Nice. So what brought this move about?
Man, I've been trying to move out here for as long as I can remember. Like since I was 15. When I turned 15, I got my fucking street bike license. My brother was in a street bike fucking club. Got my street bike license. I'm like, I'm out. I started going to Ventura to shows, like hardcore shows. Man, I started going everywhere. I started dipping out of SLO County because there's no big scene for that really. Like none of the shows were huge. I remember going to Ventura and the mosh pit being a football field long. You ain't getting that in SLO.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I was out. So as soon as that shit happened, like got my fucking permit, I was trying to move, dude. I've been trying to move forever. SLO County just had me on lock. You know, I had a lot of shit to do, and parents got divorced when I was younger. Started working fucking full time, fucking trying to make paper to take care of myself. Having a fucking kid at like 19, and then you know, ended up getting full custody and trying to take care of me and a kid on my own, and do this music and survive in SLO County and all this crap. Honestly, there's not much money to be made out there, man. Like when I came here, there's so much paper to be made here. It's like, holy shit. It's a whole nother world, and I can survive out here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I really can. I can work literally part-time at a pet hospital and make more money than most fools back home working full-time. And it's doing something super like laid back that gives me enough time to like come back and do my music and just have fun with it. And at the end of the day, who cares if I'm making money off of it?
Yeah, so you said that you were going to mosh pits and shit. So that means you got like a rock influence, right? What is your style like portrayed as, you think? Like what do you think makes up Scotty-D?
Vicious.
Scotty-D, aka Vicious, Mr. Vicious. Hell yeah. I'm gonna be adopting that shit next
Any
month.
relation to Sid?
Fuck, I didn't really fuck with the Sex Pistols. I was more into like real gutter shit. Like he was dope, but
I was talking about the wrestler.
I'm talking about like Crass, fool, and like Subhumans and like all that shit that was like underground. Like my homies were like the real gutter fucking fools, like sleeping on train tracks, like drunk as fuck, like being like fucking the same bitch and then the bitch getting like, you know, in the bathroom, like just they're raw, dude. Like some real gutter shit, you know, like that's. And then I fell out of that because there was not a lot of like unity in that shit, man. There's a lot. They always fighting each other and shit. And I was trying to find like a band of fucking people that actually like to be around each other and like weren't fucking shady. They were always stabbing each other in the back, fucking each other's girls and shit. You know, it's like what the fuck, dog? Like for real?
Yeah.
Like, fuck all that. You know, like I'm trying to. So I adopted like hardcore because hardcore was like almost like punk but different. Like it had more trying to be like loyal and unity and like building a scene together and fucking like. You know, going to shows and the way you mosh was a certain fucking way to each fucking beat, you know, and you got to hold your fucking own in the pit if you really want to be in there, like, and you got to earn your shit at each show. And there's different styles too. There was like the old gutter shit, like, and then there was like more like new style hardcore too, you know, but what a lot of people don't know, I feel like Madball, Terror's from LA, Donnybrook. They're a bunch of gutter motherfuckers that, like, instead of rapping, they picked up instruments, man. They, like, fucking selling coke and, like, doing gutter shit, but they're fucking, like, in a hardcore band instead of fucking rapping about it and shit. But you listen to Freddie Madball, it sounds like he's fucking rapping some gangster-ass shit, you know? But he's not. It's got, like, fucking drums and a guitar behind it. It's just mean. Like, it's just fucking rough. It just makes you want to fuck some shit up.
Right?
Yeah.
That's that good angry music.
Yeah, and I was angry for a lot of period of my life, man, and that shit just became me. And
well, how does it carry over now? You know what I mean? Like, what type of music are you making now? For people that don't know, what kind of music you make? You know what I mean? Like, what does it consist of?
I'm not really trying to limit myself to really one style or anything. I'm definitely trying to use a lot more guitar samples, a lot more guitar packs, a lot more like. You know, maybe me, like, doing more growls and shit, more, like, mean shit, like, hardcore influenced into fucking, like, metal rock type rap hip-hop shit, but I'm also making, like, fucking, like, acoustic shit. I'll do country shit. I'll do reggae shit. I'm gonna do everything, like meshed together. I'm not trying to limit myself at all, because I listen to all of it. My whole life, everybody told me, oh, you can't listen to this if you listen to that. I'm like, why?
Yeah.
Why the fuck not?
I agree.
I'm not trying to just fucking limit myself to this. I remember growing up, I listened to a bunch of rap shit, like, because my brother's 10 years older than me, and I'm like 3 or 4 trying to spit along with Bone Thugs and shit, like the first words I'm saying, trying to fucking do that shit, you know? And then I fell out of it, like, early 90s and adopted more of that gutter feeling and, like, that 80s rock shit and, like, 50s and, like, 80s dance shit and, like, all that. I'm trying to infuse funk, man. I'm trying to do everything. I want everybody to love me for everything.
That's dope because you'll have a little something for people that like all different genres. So if someone likes, like kind of funky type music, then they could listen to, your hybrid of all these different styles. And I think that's the best way to go. How Varsity is like a hybrid of hip hop and EDM. And it's like it's appealing to multiple markets instead of just one.
I agree, because honestly, I never really listened to any EDM shit or anything like that. And then I heard Varsity, and I was like, fuck.
Yeah, I'm the same way. So here they are. There's two people right here that Varsity Dropouts has turned on to the world of EDM and maybe just dig their music. But
I agree. Yeah, no, yeah, they definitely.
Music has that power. You know what I mean? Like that's why I'm trying to say like what influences you. You know what I mean? Because like obviously you do rap, but people don't know you do rap. That's what I'm saying. So like,
I feel like
you do rap, and then you like try to mix it with, and it's obvious by the things that you're saying. You can tell like you have a lot of different influences for sure. So you can see like from the Queen samples and like all the other type of things that you're doing, mixing it and trying to infuse it with your hip hop. That's what I was trying to get you to like tell people
say some shit about it. Yeah, no, I agree for sure. I like it all, man. I went and saw fucking AC/DC in Oakland, man, with my dad. Fucking that was dope to see AC/DC before they like faded out. Like I'm down for music in general. It's got good lyrics, a good beat, man. Fucking sign me up, man. I'm trying to be at a show.
Hell yeah.
I really like people that prove a point on stage as well, though. You know what I mean? And they're not just in the studio making good music. Like they come out live, like Tech Nine. You see him live, he's on his shit.
Yeah.
Like he's on his shit, and it makes you like, all right. He's fucking real about it. You know what I mean? As full as you see.
Yeah, it's choreographed because he's a professional. He knows what he's doing. You know what I mean? That's like so.
But you're paying like fools. These other fools making hella money. You go see them and they're just not even trying, and they're not even rapping over their shit, and they're still getting paid fucking mad money. It's like, why?
Yeah, there's some people that are just as professional per se that their music doesn't transfer well from the studio to the stage. Like
I feel like that's everything back in the day. You'd want to go see them live, right? Like everybody want to see their favorite shit live, not fucking. I want to listen to my favorite shit in the studio,
right?
So I feel like I gotta go to shows. If I feel like I like listen to somebody I like or something, I want to go see them live too. I want to see what they're doing live, because if they're just constantly doing that shit, then well, fuck, man.
Yeah, and that's part of the whole experience of living your life and growing up. Because think about, like our parents and our aunts and uncles and shit will talk about the time they saw Led Zeppelin live in the 70s, or the time they went to Woodstock, or fucking all this shit. And it's always it's all like
epic ass shit.
Yeah, I remember hearing some story about it was I want to say it was Led Zeppelin live in some fucking football stadium in Oakley or in San Jose somewhere, and they ripped up the AstroTurf, the audience did, and was like throwing it up at the stage because Led Zeppelin wouldn't come out. And that sounds amazing. That sounds dope.
Yeah, it's like
we all have our own little pieces of history like that, being at shows with crazy shit happening. I've seen some crazy shit happen at some shows.
Yeah, exactly, man.
So you came here, you got away from your hometown. You're out, you're making music, you're focused, you're trying to do everything all at once. What's next?
Shit, man. Project Vicious gonna drop fucking February 23rd on like iTunes and Google Play and like 30 other fucking stores, iHeartRadio, all that shit. And then definitely gonna drop my beat page, man. And I'm gonna start fucking trying to line up shit out here, start passing out all my shit for free. And like I said, I'm not trying to make money off this. I'm just trying to get people to feel me and know me.
Yep.
I've been meeting a lot of people. I got my business cards. I've been hitting people up. People have been hitting me up about coming over for audio engineering, getting them producers. People want beats and shit. I'm gonna be busy this year. I'm just kind of kicking back right now. I perfected my shit. I got like 5-6 other tracks that are written that just need to be recorded and shit that I'm gonna drop as singles like fucking throughout the year, probably with videos and shit, whatever. I'm going to start doing videos too, man. Like I'm going to cop a new camera. I already got Final Cut Pro. Been studying this shit. I used to edit it in a little bit back in the day. So I'm going to start doing that too, man. I'm going to build myself a little empire, a little business, man. Make some decent little money, having fun, helping people out too at the same time. Like,
nice, man. Sounds dope. Sounds like you got a cool little plan and like you kind of know where you want to go and shit. So that's cool.
Oh yeah.
And that's important, like you have to have a a vision of what you want to do, because if you can't set goals and accomplish them, then in reality you're not doing shit, you know what I mean? And that's the bad part about it. A lot of people get complacent, and a lot of people think, oh, I can just do it and it's all just going to come to me, and then nothing ever happens. 10 years later they're just stuck.
And a lot of people take the time they have with it for granted. I don't have that kind of time, man. I gotta make sure my son's fed, his homework done. I gotta make sure he's taken care of. I gotta make sure he's chilling. Like, I gotta make the paper on top of it. So when I do come to my music time, I take this shit like I'm having fun with it, but I'm serious too. Because I don't get a lot of time with it. I don't get as much time with everybody else. So when I step into my beat, or I step into my lyrics, or I step into my production, I gotta be like, all right, I'm leveling up. I'm fucking Super Mario right now, trying to get that fucking mushroom dog and level up. Every fucking time. In some sort of fucking way, I need to level up every fucking time.
I'm glad that you mentioned that, because speaking of leveling up,
yeah,
we do a little something here on the podcast called the NHP Smoke Sesh. And I was wondering
we already did one earlier, but in honor of having you here, we figured we'll do another one.
Yeah, if you'd like to join us.
In honor of being out in the valley and getting the finest of fine, I will definitely join you.
All right, dope. Well, you could what you could do for us is you could snap a little pic of yourself hitting this bowl and send it to us. We'll put it on the website.
Yeah, do that.
In our NHP smoke section. And anybody out there listening can feel free to do the same. Send it to us at naturalhabitatpodcast@gmail.com, or just post it online and hashtag it NHP smoke sesh. So let's get into it.
Play that shit, Mike Stroh.
Natural habitat.
You know, if I got it, then it's gotta be decent. I be coughing and chiefing while I'm dodging policemen. It's the pineapple kush, and it's always in season. Got my eyes so low that I can't tell what I'm seeing, and I'm barely operating my vehicle. Lighter to the pipe, hit the cherry, I see it glow. The chronic got me stuck in one spot, unbelievable. I could probably quit one day, but I need it though. Come on. Somebody once saw me getting high at a party and told me if I condone, I'm Illuminati, and I probably got they free basing. I ain't no free basing, but I'm an odd fellow, kind of mellow, be patient. You getting drunk in the bathroom, throwing up. You can find me in the elevator going up. You can find me in the elevator going up. Going all purple and about to roll another blunt. I'm going up, I'm going up. You can find me in the elevator going up. I'm going up, I'm going up. You can find me in the elevator going up. I'm going up, I'm going up. I'm going up, I'm going up. I'm going up, I'm going up.
And that's how that's done.
Damn, that shit was fire, son.
That's how it's done.
Hey, that shit was fire.
He's going up. He got me going up
copy
too.
of that shit.
Yep, going up. We're all going up today in a little NHP smoke sesh.
That shit was dope. Leo's always dope. Fool. I like that that what is that? Church Sundays or whatever.
Oh yeah, the Childhood Sundays track.
Yeah, Childhood Sundays. Yeah, that shit's fresh.
Thank you, man. That's real stories.
Yep.
Real childhood stories. So we also do a little something here called Saturday Matinee, where we do our movie reviews and everything, which brings me to the question: what is in your Netflix queue or DVD player or flash drive? What's a movie that you've watched recently, or some movie that really sticks with you? What's your favorite shit?
Like from any time at all. Like
Anytime at all. It could be whatever movie stands out.
Damn, man.
Whatever pops in your head, man. Like we've done a lot of classic stoner movies around here. I just recently watched The Revenant, which was dope as fuck.
I haven't got to see that yet. I've been meaning to see that shit.
It was crazy. Look, spoiler alert: bear attack happens.
Dude, hell yeah, dog. That's what's up. I like bears.
Yeah, that's.
Dude, did he have a girl that was on her period with him?
No.
They attract men. The menstruation attracts bears, man.
Yeah, you gotta watch out, and that's why I don't go camping with any menstruating girls at all. Because for one, the bears, and for two, it's like you're not really gonna get any, and that's the whole point of going camping with girls. Otherwise, you want to get away with your friends and get drunk.
Yeah, it's just horrible, dude. It's not a good time.
Yeah.
So I gotta go with Anchorman after that being said, for real.
Anchorman?
Anchorman or Semi-Pro, dog? Because I'm working on a beat right now called Let's Get Tropical, and I'm infusing like that movie Semi-Pro Will Ferrell with fucking like...
That movie's dope, and it's slept on. It's one of the slept on Will Ferrell movies.
Dude, I agree. And like I made this beat, and like I don't know why, but I named it Let's Get Tropical. And I started writing to it, and I was like, damn, like...
Yeah.
this could be semi-pro because I'm feeling kind of semi-pro right now. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, that's a great movie. I love that movie.
I'm gonna say my favorite slept on Will Ferrell movie is Land of the Lost.
I don't think I've seen it.
Yeah, that one's awesome too. That's
It's got Danny McBride in it.
He can do all different parts, right? Like even Bewitched was really good.
Yeah,
and it's like it's like that. There's not a part that Will Ferrell can't do. I think.
What's your favorite one, Joey? You gotta
it's
pick
gonna
one
be
now.
Step Brothers, hands down.
Yeah.
Because it was like
sure.
it was too real to my fucking actual childhood. You know what I'm saying? Like honestly, the things that they would do together and the way that they would beef and like the way that I don't know, it just reminded me of me and my little brother growing up.
And going and doing
to the T, bro. It was fucking hilarious.
Go do karate in the garage.
Yeah, or like building the fucking bunk beds, or like fucking having this fucking nicknames or whatever, like whatever, dude. All the shit, the fucking treehouse, like everything. You know what I mean? Like so much of that movie reminded me of my fucking childhood. It was ridiculous. It was just hilarious the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah, movies the shit, man. I agree. Like 100%. I watched that movie a shit ton for sure. Yeah, that other fool's dope too. Him and Cal Naughton Jr. make a good team, dude.
Yep. What's that guy's name?
I don't even know, dude, but he's dope.
His name, he was on that fucking weird show, Dr. Steve Brule, on Adult Swim.
I don't even watch it. I don't watch much TV. I don't have time, really. Like, I watch movies at night, like when I'm winding down and shit, but
Yeah.
I don't really have much time for TV, man.
John C. Reilly.
John C. Reilly. John C. Reilly, he's dope.
John C.
Yep.
Reilly, that's his name.
I didn't really dig the Dewey Cox story. There was like one or two parts that I liked, and that's about it.
That shit was hella funny. It was all like, you don't want to smoke weed, man. You don't want to do this. It makes everything feel great.
That I liked, yeah. Like that was Tim Meadows, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Tim Meadows is funny, dog. What about Ladies Man? That movie, Ladies Man.
Yeah, that was my shit. I fucking watched Ladies Man probably 100 times.
So you mean you want to put it in the butt? Whatever. He's always about the butt.
Yeah. So ooh, it's a lady. That's what we're gonna turn this show into. Is just the ladies.
The
man.
ladies man.
Hey, it's the ladies man. Pour me some cognac. Ooh, it's a lady.
Cavatier.
That's what it was. Sorry about that.
I love when like he's walking around trying to slang his show, and the people are just like, as soon as he gets to some shit, they just turn it off or whatever. Like, are you serious?
Yep. What you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to fuck a doggy style.
Yeah, you're gonna want to fuck a doggy style. He
All
has
right.
a tattoo on his ass.
Well, unfortunately, we burned up all the rest of the time we have. So,
Yeah.
referencing movies.
Hell yeah.
But that's what we do.
That's what we do. Well, thank you for joining us. We're gonna have all the links for your music and stuff. You're on SoundCloud. People can also find you on Facebook. You're gonna have a new Vicious page up soon.
Yeah.
And we'll put all the links to that in the description. Anything else that you want to say to the people before we go?
Just want to say thank you for listening to my crazy ass, weird ass world of music and all my influence infused into some shit. And I guarantee I will not disappoint you by growing every fucking year.
Boom.
And thank you to Booyah and Unknown for having me up on this bitch. And I can't wait to get it in and watch you guys do your thing this year and rake in all these plays for these crazy ass podcasts.
You know it, bro.
Well, we're trying. So thank you for joining us, man. We appreciate it. Get back on the grind, man. Go put in some work.
Get to work.
Stay high.
Get to work.
Get to work.
All right, man. Peace.
Peace out.
And bada boom. There it is. That's dope, man. It's cool that he's still out here making all these moves for himself and grinding, doing his own thing, and trying to make his own formula and his own sound, because that's really the most important part. You know what I mean? He's been at it for a while, and that's what it takes, is dedication.
Well, yeah. Besides the fact that he supports us a lot and everything, it was just cool to have him on to kind of reinforce that he's like doing the right thing. You know what I mean? Like, it's cool to see that he's at a young age and taking steps to better himself and like get to where he wants to be in life. And it takes guts to be where he's at. You know, he's a single dad and he's out like trying to do his thing, and he leaves the comforts of home to move to a big city to chase his dream and try to fucking work and hold it down at the same time. And you know what I mean? That's a lot on the plate for a guy like that. So it's definitely cool to see somebody be able to do all the things that he's doing and have the drive that he has still, and to do it all on his own. You know, it's doing music is a bitch. You know, it doesn't matter what genre you're in. It doesn't matter what type of music you make. It doesn't matter where you come from or whatever. You know what I mean? It's like trying to do it on your own is one of the most toughest things you could ever do. It's like you're going to be instantly ridiculed and judged for everything you do. Everything you do is never going to be good enough. You're never going to be compared to anybody that matters. You know what I mean? It's like it's such a fucking hassle and such a fucking pain to like put yourself through all that shit and then still have the drive and like what you need to like keep it going. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
it's definitely cool to see. It's inspiring to us even, you know what I mean? Because we know what it takes. We've been doing all this for so long, and you know, we're still at it. And so to recognize it in somebody else just like, you know, makes us feel even better about it.
Yeah, I agree. So I say that we smoke one for him. Let's do another smoke sesh. I know that we smoked one with him, but let's
smoked one before him.
Let's keep it going. Smoked one before him, and now we're gonna smoke another one because you know it started with guaranteed one smoke sesh per episode, and now now it just gets out of control.
Yeah,
bunch of fucking potheads. That's what happens.
It's all in fun, right? I mean, like that's what we're here for. That's what you're here for. Yep. You know, it's like we're trying to make some time go by, and try to keep it entertaining at the same time. You know, hopefully you learned something. Yeah. Now you learned a little something about a new person today. So congratulations, right. You look cunts.
And this is one of the few interactive things that we do around here. So we like to do it a lot. So you ready?
Play that funky music, white boy.
That's so dope. I love that song, dude.
Mexican reggae. Mm-hmm. Who would have thought?
Right? And that song was made especially for the Cheech and Chong movie for Up in Smoke.
Yeah.
And it's entitled "Searchin' by the Searchin' Boys." Very and cool. I remember that's what they said on the radio, boys. That's what they said on the radio, boy. They said he was all like, "All right, we're gonna go searching with the Searchin' Boys," and then that song came on, and I fucking love that song. You can't find it anywhere on iTunes. You could just get a little bootleg of it on YouTube, which is what I did.
Yeah, which is even cooler. You know, we're so lucky to have a YouTube in our lives.
Yeah, YouTube. Shout out to YouTube because
people are like taking shit for granted, but life sucked before YouTube.
Yeah, you could see anything you want all around the world and learn all kinds of new shit. Yeah, you could sit in on fucking Harvard classes. And you could learn everything that you would in a Harvard class. You could sit there on a whole 4 years, and you won't have the degree, but you'll have all the knowledge, which is like, you know, what's you're not gonna be able to go and get the job as a lawyer, but you can fucking you could know enough to where no cops will be able to fuck you over.
Another one.
Another one. So I had this video that audio video on YouTube that I listened to the other day, and it was from the Opie and Anthony show. And I found out that, there's a lot of talk about joke thievery going on. It's a hot thing in the past few years. And I'd say ever since the whole Joe Rogan and Carlos Mencia thing happened. And then, did you hear about Amy Schumer?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Amy Schumer got called out for all these things that were on her show and her HBO special and shit. And then I found out that, you know, this happened a while ago when it dropped, but Dennis Leary's song, his Asshole song,
Yeah.
that is like his most popular song that he still closes with to this day whenever he does shows, was a Louis C.K. bit back when Louis C.K. was like a young comedian.
Yeah, I heard that.
And fucking Dennis Leary stole it, and Louis C.K. didn't know about, like, you know, etiquette back then. He was just starting, so he was like, hey, man, you know, a good comedian that I look up to wants to do my joke. I don't really like doing it anyway. I'm like, you know, it's not really, he said that he was, you know, done with it, and he kind of felt bad for him that he couldn't write his own joke. But that's like, that got him like specials, like it got him fucking his whole career. He wrote off of that song that he didn't wrote, which is insane to me. That's fucking nuts.
Yeah.
But, you know,
it's cool that people are getting exposed. I like it.
Yeah. And
I love it because like it clears up who's for real and who isn't.
Mm-hmm.
And I think more of it should happen all the time, you know?
It's just fucked up because it's almost like, it's cool that Louis, like, he did like his own thing and made his own career himself without the Asshole song. It's not like it ruined his career. He's, you know, one of the biggest comedians ever. All of our favorite comedians look up to him. Like every time I hear on a podcast, everyone's always talking about him and how great he is and how he produces and directs and writes and edits his own show and all this shit. And fucking, you know, it's cool that instead of, you know, running around and being like, that's my song, he just, you know, fucking just said whatever and went along with his life.
I think he prevailed because he's the funnier dude.
He did, but Dennis Leary, you know, has, you know, this nice car and this nice house, and
so does Louis.
Yeah, I know, but he's lived his whole life and prospered, where it's like, you know, there's people like you and me that create our own art that would deserve that stuff before Dennis Leary, who stole it and already lived his whole life. So even though he's busted, it's like
that's
he's
just
about
one
to die
aspect,
soon.
though. You gotta look at like Dennis Leary's an actor too. He's been an actor in some of the most popular shows, and like, you know, he's not just a fucking comedian.
Yeah, but that's how he started, was a comedian.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, he could have been riding this song the whole way up, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think the one joke is really what made it, or, you know, broke it. You know, I mean, I feel like that's really not it. He had to have had more, or he obviously wouldn't be around still. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but,
he probably still would be
like,
doing
it's
something.
It's a shitty thing to steal jokes, and it's good that he got exposed for it, you know, because everybody deserves credit where credit is due, for sure. But to say that, you know, he built his whole career off of the one stolen bit, when, you know, I really don't think that that's valid.
Yeah, but, you know, I'm not really extensive into Dennis Leary's career. I never watched Rescue Me, or I never really I watched like one of his old specials, and the only thing I really remember is the Asshole song. So, you know.
Well, he did a lot of shit. And that a lot of people were doing probably, you know, like he did a lot of the same shit as a lot of other people with like all the smoking and like all this, you know what I mean?
That's like an Andrew Dice Clay thing.
Exactly, you know, so it's like, it's just the time and era thing, you know what I mean? Like back then it was era correct. Nowadays, I'm sure if he did stand up, it would be nothing like that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure, like,
and
know, same with Louis. You know, obviously, like he's nothing like he used to be too. You know, he's way different. So,
and there's only so much, so many topics and things that you can discuss. And you know, comedians they all kind of live the same lifestyle, some sort of dysfunctional lifestyle, and they're gonna see things in a similar way to each other. So you know, bits are gonna come out the same. And that's just how it is, because there's only so much stuff that you could write about before you start writing about something that another comedian is writing about. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's all integrity. You know what I mean? Like, people respect that. You know, so when they find out that you stole some jokes, they're going to like you less, and they're going to remember that. Yeah. You know what I mean? And their shit's going to be tarnished. So it's really like it's their loss no matter what.
Did you see
steals,
that,
you know?
that Carlos Mencia he has like one of his old specials or one of his old shows that he was part of, The Three Amigos, on Netflix now, but they like hid his face. His face isn't on the main thing. You have to like click on it, and then it'll go to the slide, and it shows him on the second slide, and his name's like in the credits, but they totally didn't use him you know, if he wasn't busted for stealing jokes, he would have been the front of that fucking splash page and been like, Carlos Mencia, fucking blah, blah, blah. And it would have showed his face all fucking stupid and smiling. But instead, they tucked him off to the side. And like, you know, but
he
still
was on
put
a
it on.
sick roll, you know. If he wouldn't have got exposed, he was going to be big time.
Mm-hmm. Everybody fucking knew him.
He was fucking doing it big, you know. So he got a taste of that real life shit, and
it's crazy, man. Some people, they just run out of ideas and they start.
Well, it's not
it.
that. It's just like everybody gets greedy. It seems like,
and there's,
you know what
there's
I mean?
also
it's like nobody's happy enough with whatever they got. It's like they want to steal to make sure that they're better or whatever, and it never works out. You know?
And there's also a thing that someone brought up that was about, like, you know, say if you got a job at Comedy Central, if they approached, like, say if they approached us and they were like, we want you to do like a sketch show, and it'll be all about like the podcast, and you'll do like little things in between, like little sketches and shit. We're like, cool. And they give us a team of writers, and the team of writers, like, one of them comes to us with an idea for like some sketch that's funny. And we're like, that sounds funny. Let's do it. Let's roll with it. You know what I mean? And then we do the sketch and we have our name all over it. And it's like Natural Habitat Podcast. Here's Mikey Booyah, an unknown. And we're fucking doing all this shit and we're credited for it. And then it turns out that was the same sketch that was from like a College Humor video on YouTube. But we didn't see that video because College Humor's made 5,000 videos. So we don't have time to sit there and watch them all. So just because we didn't see the video, now we're plagiarists because someone else maybe saw the video when they were drunk and kind of vaguely remembered it and then wrote it down and thought it was a good idea that they came up with. And there's that too, you know what I mean? So you can look like a plagiarist when you really aren't, when you're working with a lot of people. It gets foggy, you know?
Yeah, that's why I think like the true fans probably might be the most upset, but just like the everyday normal fan isn't going to pick a side or pick an allegiance, you know. They're just going to go with whatever they think is funny or whatever. And originality or whatever never means anything to them. And I feel like it's the same way with music and everything. It's just like all entertainment in general. If you're just a general-ass fan and don't care, that shit's never going to be an issue to you. You're not going to care. It's not important.
Because it's murky because there's comedians that will be like in circles that come up together and, you know, tour together and know each other. And they'll share bits. Like, someone will like their bit, and they'll be like, yeah, you know, you're going out of town. I'm not going to be there. You can use my bit. And say if you were at that venue last month when the other guy came through, and you're like, hey, this guy stole, you know, this guy's joke. What the fuck? And then you find out that they're sharing bits, and then you're like, okay, well, then I can't really be mad at anybody because I don't know what the fuck's going on because I'm not part of the world. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
So...
Yeah.
It gets murky, and that's really all we're here to talk about is how, you know, the seediness of the underground comedy scene. Who does it?
Yeah, right.
So we'll see you on Thursday with another episode of Who Done It.
Yeah. Peace, bitches.
The Natural Habitat Podcast.